So the Hornets win the tip. So let's take a look at the Charlotte starting lineup. Curry is out there with Paul. Then there's Stackhouse. Then it's Worthy. And it's McAdoo in at center.
And that's a routine play for Paul. He's not going to miss the open man.
Alston against Paul. Smith for three. The Hornets pull it in. Stackhouse outside. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. And it's Adebayo with the ball for Albuquerque. It's a three-point. Oh, wow, what a great move inside.
That is incredible.
So skilled on the bounce. When Smith is in attack mode, this guy is difficult to slow down.
They stand from 15 feet in. Not many players more dangerous in this NBA than Bam Adebayo.
No, there's not, Kevin. He's got the total package when he gets in the mid-range area on down. He can shoot the mid-range jumper above the rim to finish. He can score with his back to the basket. And he's an outstanding passer.
We haven't even mentioned his defense, right? Because his defense is off the charts.
Always an all-defense consideration.
And now, just over a minute played here in the first. And James Worthy gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul.
Personal foul. First team foul.
Alston with the ball. There's the drive. Doesn't go for him. Excellent defense from Worthy. And Curry has it in the corner. With the shot. It's good. Only a few seconds into the shot clock. Curry's got 5.
And I like to see this. They're calling his number early, and he's delivering.
Yeah, well, his offensive contributions are going to be very important in this game. So it's good they've already got him in a rhythm. Yeah, he makes it look so easy out there. The game comes naturally to him.
Charlotte making a switch here. Jones is checked in.
And Smith is known as a streaky shooter, but when he gets hot, boy, he is really fun to watch.
McAdoo, the pass to Paul. Here's McAdoo. Pass to Stackhouse. And oh, the block shot grabs it out of the air. Alston kicks to McAdoo. From deep, Williams. Rebounded by McAdoo.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
McAdoo dishes to Smith. Good ball movement here by Albuquerque. Williams for 3. Knocks down the 3 ball. He has 6.
Now that's a high percentage look when the D doesn't fight over the screen.
Yeah, it's certainly worth it to disrupt the offense. Coaches notice that extra effort.
And it's Ray for Alston with the foul. That's his first foul.
First team foul.
First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes played. And timeout is called by Charles Lee. He wants to talk to his guys.
Let's see if Coach can get them back on the right track.
Yeah, I like the timeout here. The coaching staff needs to get these guys regrouped and refocused.
Curry on the wing, covered by Smith. To the inside, here's McAdoo. Kicks it out to Jones. Just 5 to shoot. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It's his first trip to the line. And that one falls for Jones. Buck Williams, he's checked in for Charlotte. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
Well, he's been very good at the line, and we all know free throws can make or break you in the end.
Driving the lane. Out to Smith. On the jam by J.R. Smith.
And he just dangles from the bucket after sending that one through.
And you can see which team has the swagger right now. Outside, Jones. Back the ball. Tries again. The kick out to Williams. Paul, right side. Just couldn't take the lid off. They had their chances, but came up empty. And so Chris Finch calls for the timeout. He's made the decision. He wants to huddle up with his guys. Boozer, he's checked in for McAdoo.
Your youth dance team.
Albuquerque leading by 6. Here's Alston trying to get open as Adebayo. That shot off the mark. Paul with the defensive effort. Good work defensively by Smith. And Albuquerque with the possession. They're on a 13-4 run. Williams, that's good.
And their post play has been really solid right off the bat.
Charlotte trails by 8. Here's Jones. Oh, and the dunk by Jones.
And this is where Paul really excels. He's got an exceptional mind for playmaking.
Out to Smith. 46 seconds left to play here in the first. Can't get the bucket from 20 feet out. Williams against Jones. Paul outside. Back to Jones. With the drive. Kicks it out to Paul. From the stripe. He gets it in there.
And it's the way Paul controls his body and gets into a position to shoot. Amazing.
Here's Boozer. Goes back up. Nice D from Williams.
Well, give credit to the defense for cutting him off. Normally, that'd be easy points for him at the rim.
And Boozer with the block. And so it's Jalen Williams making things happen for Albuquerque. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. We've got more in store for you right after this. And if you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter in this one. And what stands out to you from Albuquerque in this one so far?
Well, they used the fast break to generate some easy buckets before the defense could get set.
Yeah, they've dictated the pace to this point, looking to run at every opportunity.
We've got Joel Embiid, Deron Williams out there with J.R. Smith. Then it's Jalen Williams. And it's Boozer in at the power forward. And for Charlotte, E.J. Tucker is out there with Williams. Then there's Stackhouse. Then there's Floyd. And it's Hudson in at the 3 spot. Here's Hudson. Poke loose. And here we go, Albuquerque fast break. Tucker the pass to Floyd. Over Williams. The shot by Floyd, no good. Albuquerque leading by 6. And we've played through the first minute here in the second. Tucker with the ball. Now defended by Embiid. With some arc. Tucker can't get it to go. And Albuquerque with the possession. They haven't allowed any points in the second quarter. That one is good from Joel Embiid.
It's just so tough to knock Embiid off the block. That's his territory.
Charlotte trails by 8. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
And timeout is called by Charles Lee. And coach has decided they need a moment to talk things over. Some changes for Albuquerque. Randall comes in for Jalen Williams. And OG Anunoby subbed in for Smith. The Hornets also changing it up. Worthy comes in for Buck Williams. And Curry subbed in for Hudson. Now here's Curry. 5 points in the game. Yep, that one goes in there.
Easy little jumper for him right there, guys.
A moment for an injury report.
Hey, Kevin. Well, I spoke with the head athletic trainer for Albuquerque, and unfortunately, it sounds pretty serious.
All right, David, thanks. Well, guys, certainly not the news his fans were hoping for.
And not at all. I mean, it sounds like he's got a long road ahead of him in terms of his recovery.
That's just awful news. You really feel for the guy, and you know everyone in the NBA family is wishing him a speedy recovery.
Here's Floyd. No scoring in this one. Pass to Curry, to the paint. And Tucker kicks to Stackhouse. It's stolen by Randall. Here's Anunoby. And Anunoby slams it in.
And you can't afford to lose Anunoby in transition. As soon as he has a step on you, it's over.
Outside Curry. Here's Floyd, guarded by Embiid. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Floyd, guarded by Embiid. The shot by Floyd, no good.
And not allowing the shooter even an inch of breathing room on that one.
There's no air space there whatsoever. That's as close as you can get without foul.
Whoa. It was Randall really getting up, giving this team some juice with those two.
Here's Floyd. Outside Curry. Stackhouse against Randall. The kick out to Worthy. Nice pass in here by Charlotte. Here's Stackhouse. Randall grabs the board. And Albuquerque with the possession. They've outscored him 10 points to 2 during this run. It's Williams with the drive. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. And he's going up for the alley-oop. It's stolen by Randall. Stackhouse with the steal. Curry with it. Williams picks him up. Tucker can't get it to go. Albuquerque leading by 12. Here's Boozer. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
And Boozer is a handful for defenses, which is why they compromise by fouling.
The line for your home team, Carlos Boozer.
That free throw good from Boozer. Adebayo is checked in for Albuquerque. And then for Charlotte, Williams, he's checked in for P.J. Tucker. Hudson comes in for Stackhouse. And Paul's subbed in for Floyd. Boozer hits them both.
Well, you have to appreciate a big man who can step up to the line and knock it down with confidence.
And timeout is called by Charles Lee. He wants to check in with his team and regroup. Changes for Albuquerque. McAdoo is checked in for Boozer. Smith comes in for OG Anunoby. And Rafer Alston is subbed in for Williams. Outside Curry. Back to Paul. Outside Curry. They need this one. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Curry's got 10 points in the game.
And I don't care how far from the bucket he is. You've got to have a man on him. He's just too good from deep.
They set the screen. And they recover it. Pass to Smith. Over Curry. Rocket 6. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls. 9 points in the game so far.
And that pick takes the D totally out of the equation.
Yeah, you've got to lock and trail hard. You can't allow him a clean look for him.
To the middle. It's stolen by Smith. One-on-one here. Paul with the steal. 5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. It's stolen by Smith. Randall passes to Alston. Here's McAdoo, and stolen by Williams. Paul outside. Here's Worthy, and you know that's going to be goaltending, guys, so that's a free basket right there.
So close to getting the block there. You can live with those calls because you'd rather have a guy playing aggressive instead of playing it safe.
Smith for three. And that would have counted, but his shot was off the mark this time. And so it's Albuquerque. Their lead at 11 points to end the quarter. And they've done a phenomenal job down low. So many of their points coming right at the rim. We come back right after this. And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. Curry has been sensational.
Well, we'll find out if they were able to find an answer for him over the break. He was scoring with ease in that first half.
Yeah, I'd love to see what they drew up in the locker room because you're right. He's the problem right now.
We've got Carlos Boozer, J.R. Smith out there with Rafer Alston. Then it's Bam Adebayo. And it's Randall in at the small forward position. That's Chris Finch's 5 as we get into the second half. Here's Smith following the score by Charlotte. Randall right side. Smith on the wing, guarded by Kirk. Takes a three. And again, Albuquerque with the triple.
A certified bucket. J.R. Smith can catch fire in a hurry and send the defense scrambling.
Hall. And he makes good on the layup. Hall's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Terrific play call to give him a clean look at the rim. That's how you want to start the second half.
Yeah, I like how they're establishing their interior presence right away. That's going to collapse the defense and create other opportunities.
Good on the three-point shot. Boozer's got 5.
Their ability, again, to stretch the floor, particularly in this second half.
Yeah, and where has the defense been? They've been content to let them fire away. They've got to close out to the arc.
And so it's Charles Lee calling timeout. He wants a minute here to get things straightened out with his team. Big group substitution here for Albuquerque. Joel Embiid, he's checked in for Bam Adebayo. Rand comes in for Carlos Boozer. Jalen Williams is checked in for Julius Randle. Darren Williams is subbed in for Rafer Alston. Now here's Paul. Here's the teardrop. Can't hit from in close. Here's Smith. It's Williams high post. Brand outside. Here's Embiid. Worthy pulls it in.
Not really what we expected. You know he wants that one back.
Curry on the wing. Pass to Paul. Stackhouse outside. And it's off from three-point range. Albuquerque leading by 16. Brand sets a screen for Williams. Good on the shot. 10 points for him.
I love that they're continuing to attack despite being up big.
Yeah, they're being absolutely relentless. Building this lead in every way possible.
Now here's Paul. Stackhouse outside. Over Williams. Rebound by Joel Embiid. Embiid's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Brand sets a screen for Williams. On the wing, Williams. Three-pointer. It's rebounded by Charlotte. McAdoo's got his 5th rebound in this one. Here's Worthy. And the rejection by Brand.
Perfect timing on the
defense Brand can play.
Jones checked in for Worthy.
Number 24, Bobby Jones.
3 minutes gone now in the third quarter. They get the rebound and the rejection by Brand. And it's out of bounds. The Hornets able to retain possession here. There's 1:59 left here in the third quarter. The shot's good. Now here's Williams. Smith right side. Out to Brand. Pass to Williams. Hornets with the rebound. Ball fires from way outside. From outside, off the mark. Albuquerque leading by 16. Brand dishes to Smith. Brand a screen on Jones. The shot's good from Smith.
An absolute sharpshooter. J.R. Smith always rises with confidence.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Now here's Jones. Back to Stackhouse. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for Albuquerque.
Well, they've been hitting threes at a high clip, and the defense hasn't done enough to challenge them at the line. They need to close out and run them off the three.
And all game long, they work the ball inside. It's really worked well for them offensively.
Looking at who's out there now for the Hornets. Williams, he's checked in for McAdoo. Maxwell comes in for Jones. And Hudson subbed in for Curry. Williams gets the bucket.
Textbook there by Brand on the pass. Spotting an open teammate and just getting it to him in rhythm.
Good work there as it goes.
It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with the pass.
Embiid, no good.
Well, the analytics don't like it, but if the defense is giving it up, I like that shot selection despite the miss.
Stackhouse against Smith. Here's Stackhouse. He's got 6. Williams, a screen on Smith. Stackhouse. Oh, good with the triple. Here's Embiid. Oh, and the buzzer beater's good.
One eye on the rim, one eye on the clock. Nice job.
Well, it's good to have a player on the floor with that kind of awareness. He recognized the situation.
And so it's Albuquerque controlling the game and finishing the quarter with a 20-point lead. From the field, they have been outstanding. Amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to... And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Yeah, he puts that pass right on the money and made things look easy for his teammate.
And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. On the court for the Hornets, Worthy out there with Buck Williams. Then there's 4. And it's Curry. And it's Hudson in at the 3.
Oh, that was nice. That's the number one thing on his mind every time he touches it.
GA with the D right there on him. Still ran hard to the rim. Curry with the bucket.
And for the defense, that is a heart-sinking moment when you see him that wide open from beyond the arc.
Left side, Williams. The kick out to Williams. Good, and it's Williams who picks up the assist. 16 points for Williams.
And guys, he's been a one-man air raid coming at them time and time again.
Well, what I love about his three-point shooting is the spacing that he's adding. It makes things a lot easier for everyone else.
And he lobs it up toward the rim. Inside, there's Williams, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. That one is on Brand.
Standing 6'8", Buck Williams is an excellent defensive player. This team counts on his ability to affect shots.
Some changes for Albuquerque. Carlos Boozer's checked in for Brand, and OG Anunoby subbed in for J.R. Smith. And a switcher also for Charlotte. Jones is checked in. And we've got a timeout called from Chris Finch. And that timeout by Coach was carefully measured, wanting to make sure that everybody is on the same page here. Some changes for Albuquerque. Bam Adebayo is checked in for Joel Embiid. Randle comes in for Williams. And Rafer Alston is subbed in for Darren Williams. Alston passes to Anunoby. Got a piece of it. No one near Curry as he lets it go. Buries it from three-point range. Curry's got 6 points in the quarter.
Well, he saw the defender back, and he got the look he liked from three and capitalized.
The kick out to Anunoby. Boozer with the screen for Anunoby. Misses the three, and he used the pump fake well there, but he couldn't capitalize. Worthy the pass to Ford. From the high post, Randle grabs the board.
And I was sure that was money on that one, but everyone is afforded an easy miss or two.
Yeah, it was a great look. Sometimes they don't fall. You've just got to keep taking great shots.
Boozer a screen on Jones. 5 on the clock. Randle with the ball. And Curry picks him up defensively. Anunoby, no good. Charlotte trails by 17. Jones looking for an opening. Here's Worthy. And that comes off the assist by Jones.
And that's got to happen if they want to have a chance to turn this thing around. I mean, he needs to just take the game over. I mean, it seems like he's been hesitant to pull the trigger.
Boozer kicks to Alston. Back to Boozer. The kick out to Anunoby. Boozer a screen on Curry. Anunoby finds Randle. Drains the three-pointer. And Albuquerque leads by 18.
They're in total command of this game with time starting to run out.
Yeah, and at this point, the focus is take care of the ball, no needless fouls, and no free.
And Albuquerque making a change here. Wagner's checked in. And then for Charlotte, McAdoo is checked in for Williams. Stackhouse comes in for Jones. And Chris Paul's subbed in for Ford. Down low, here's Alston. Lays it up off the glass. Alston's got his first 2 points.
And Matador defense, that's one of the easiest shots he is ever going to see.
An unorganized defense like that is not going to help them close this deficit.
Here's Worthy on the mark with the 15-footer. Worthy's got 4 this quarter. Albuquerque leading by 18. Randle with the ball, and Worthy picks him up defensively, and Jerry Stackhouse picks up the front. That is his first foul of the game. So a whole new group on the floor now for Charlotte. Screen by Boozer. Here's Alston. Sinks the triple.
Cold-blooded, drops the dagger, piles on to what was already a big lead.
And defensively, that kind of effort is just not going to cut it.
And play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
And not the most common call you'll see in the NBA, but hard to argue that pick wasn't illegal.
Yeah, and that's maybe something that should be called more. We see a lot of moving screens in today's NBA.
So a whole new group on the floor now for Charlotte. Outside for Randle. Pass to Alston. On the top of the key. They grab their own miss. From the arc. No good on that one. And it's the Hornets ball. And that basket is going to count. Goaltending, the official call.
That's a very close call. I'm sure he thinks it's a clean block, but looks like it was on the way down.
Goes up on the wing. Boozer bricks the dunk off the deceptive pump fake. And so here's Charlotte, trailing by 19. They get it back. Tucker can't get it to go. And Albuquerque with the possession. 22 is their biggest lead. Here's Alston driving to the basket.
Never a bad idea to run the old pick play.
You're right. And if it produces a slam like that, we'll probably see more of them.